tell you what, for this lesson, let's go new. Let's just do new. Go up the word File on the pull-down menu and go down to New. Now, my favorite place to play is Web 960, 560. Pick up the Type tool. Come over here and type a word, anything you want. I'm going to type in the word wow. Now, I want a bigger wow than that, and I want a different font. So I'm going to select it. Come over here. I don't want Myriad Pro. Select over here and start typing in Impact. There it is. Press the Return key on a Mac and the Enter key in Windows. And there it is. It's changed. Now, I can change the size of a font without changing its font size. Pick up the Select tool. Come over here. Selection tool, actually. And let's make that bigger. I want a big wow. And of course, we all know that the word wow on its head says Mom. Let's go back to wow, at least in my case. Let's give it a different color too, I suppose. Let me go ahead and pick a different color for it. Okay, we're here to talk about envelope distorting and also converting to outlines and why you might want to do that. Because when you convert something to outline, you're losing control of it in terms of it being a font. But it does give you advantages in other areas. Let's start with envelope distorts. We have it selected. We come up here to the word object and go down to envelope distort. And the one we're going to look at is warp, make with warp. Now it starts with an arc, but you've got all kinds of things here you can play around with. Fish, flags, all kinds of things. You can change the bend, change the horizontal and the vertical. Let's go to fish. Let's see what we can do with that one. That's kind of fun. And let's give it more bend. Maybe a little. Well, let's go this way. Yeah, let's stop there before we get into any more trouble and click OK. Now, the cool thing is it's still text. So you look at it and go, well, it shouldn't be the word wow, it should be the word fish. I guess I would agree with that. Now, we don't have to go back, undo it, and start all over again. But we can't edit the text the way it is now. What we have to do is select it, which it is selected, go back to the word object and go down to envelope distort and select edit contents. Now, with that done, we can then come over here to the type tool and select it and type in fish. Just like that, or fishy, if you want to. And now we have that. Now we can go back anytime we want to envelope distort and warping and, well, make it something else or further change the fish if you want to. It's up to you. But two other options that we have. Maybe we kind of want to undo this and maybe it's 2 days later. So you select it, you come up to the word object and you go down to envelope distort and you select release. Now watch what happens when you do. You get two things. You get the actual mask that it used to make this distort into the word fish. And incidentally, envelope distorts work with anything, not just text. That's just what we're using. So it used that to make fish, and it gives it to us as a little parting present when it puts fish back into impact font. Let me undo that and put it back together. The other one is we like it, but we're having a problem printing it, because it is a font that's been distorted, and the math, the way it works, especially with a press, like a 4-color press, is causing havoc, and it's just not working. So what do? Well, you draw it using the pen tool, or it's already there. You go up to the word object on the pull-down menu, and you go down to envelope distort, and you select expand. That word now is no longer a word. It is an object as if you had drawn it with the pen tool. The advantage to that is simply the fact that things like presses can handle it better now. If you're having trouble with some way that you distorted text, which is fine, I do it all the time, it's kind of fun, but it can't really translate to print as well as you thought it was going to be, you can convert it into an outline. Now, the disadvantage is it's no longer text, okay? If you misspelled it, say, for example, and I'm the worst on that, I can't go back in and change the spelling. I can't change the font that boat has sailed unless I want to press undo, which I just did. But if it's 2 days later, you wouldn't be able to do that. Now let me go ahead and press undo a couple of times until we get back to the original word wow. There are some things, again, we can still do to text. For example, you can go up to the word effect on the pull-down menu and go into, say, some of these in here. Distort and transform. Pucker and bloat, one of my absolute favorites, at least the names. And we turn on the preview and we can do this to it. Now I can click OK. I can come pick up my type tool right now and change it to another word and it will take on those characteristics. But again, it might be difficult to print it. So you might have to convert it to outlines. Let me go ahead and undo that one more time. What if you don't want to distort it? You don't want to use the envelope and the expand. You just want to turn it into outlines right here. Well, go up to the word type with it selected with your selection tool and go into create outlines. There you go. Now it is no longer text. But if I undo that again, I keep doing that, I know. If I want to have some fun with this, and we did this earlier in another chapter, you do have these options over here, all these crazy things. I'm only going to use one. But if I try to use any of these on text, well, it's going to say I can't because it is text. I have to convert it into something else, an outline. So again, you go to the word type and you create outlines. And now say like this one right here. I like this one. It's kind of fun to work with. I call it melting actually. And it begins to melt the text. Kind of fun to do on a spooky Halloween night. So a lot of the features that we have, a lot of the things that we can do to text can be done without actually taking the text into outline form, but that might cause a problem if you're going to print, especially if you're going to a press. And so converting to outline can really help you. The other end is using some of these filters, which are, let's admit, not something you're going to use every single day. But if you need them, they're there. And if you're doing them to text, you have convert to outline.